Okay, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about the Solution Explorer and organizing F-sharp projects, and just a little bit about how we can create files and move them around and create folders and so forth, and a little bit about file order and the importance of it, and some of the different file types that we'll be dealing with in F-sharp, although we will go into more detail about those file types later as we begin using them. So the first thing I want to show you is that here in this Solution Explorer, we can right click and we can add items above or add below. This just makes it easy if we know where it's got to go in the order of things, where we can put the files. So I'm going to add a few new files to this so we can manipulate them. And I'm just going to have source files here, and I'm just going to call them the file1.fs and so forth. I'm going to create a few of those. We'll do an add below this time, and we'll just create that, and we'll do one more. We'll do another add below, and we'll create that. So we've got three files here, FS files. These are source code files for F Sharp and probably the main file that you'll be working with most of the time. Each one was created, it's called a module at the top, and that's all you have to say to create a module. You can come down here and you can put code in this file. We're going to do something a little different when we start making our formal modules. We're going to come up here and we're going to put a namespace in, but for working within F Sharp, these will work just fine using these file names. Now, order is important, and remember I explained to you that if we say let A equals 3 and let B equals 4, that's fine, but we cannot come up here and say let C equal A plus B. It simply isn't defined yet, and we can see that. So files are compiled from top to bottom, and not only are they compiled from top to bottom, but the files within the Solution Explorer are compiled from top to bottom as though it was one big continuous program. So the file ordering is important. Oops, what do we got? Can't move files. Oh, I must have clicked funny and it thought it was going to move it. So I'm going to show you some things you can do here with file ordering. We just showed that you can add above and add below. Like if I want to add another file above this one in the order, I can say add new item here above file 4, and it goes in above. Now these are in a weird darn it, these are in a weird order here: file 1, file 3, file 4, file 2. I can reorder those in a couple of different ways. I can right click and say move up, and then I got to right click again, or I can hold down the Alt key and push the arrow keys up and down, and you see I'm moving this file throughout the hierarchy. I can move it all the way to the bottom or all the way to the top, and I want to put file number 4 right here, and then by releasing the Alt, I can use my keyboard to move up and down in here. I can move file 2 up that easily, and now they're in order: file 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, the other thing I can do here is create folders. And I'm going to create a folder here first that I'm going to call scripts. And I'm going to take this script file we created here and I'm going to put it in that folder. And you notice that what it said here is one or more files will be moved. This operation might take some time. It might if we actually had anything, and I really don't want to get told that anymore. So I'm going to say never prompt before moving to a file to a new location. So we now have this module 1 script file in this scripts folder, but you notice now it's at the top of this hierarchy, and so it's going to get it's not going to have access to any of these things. Well, if it was a code file. So I'm going to highlight the folder here, press and hold the Alt key. I'm just going to run that folder all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and create another folder, and I'm going to call it add new folder. And I'm just going to call this one source. And then I'll just grab all of these source files except for the program one and drop it into source. And so There's our source folder. Oops. There's our source folder, our program FS, and our script folder. I don't know why it keeps popping up with that box. It thinks I'm trying to move or copy something in some way. It's a little strange behavior there. It might be because of the way I'm clicking at the same time. Okay, it thinks I'm moving it from the folder to the same folder. I must be clicking and dragging at the same time. So now what's important about this, if we have a second folder, if we have a second folder here, we'll add a new folder, add new folder. We'll call it something like, I don't know, special. It's got some special operations in it, and maybe that needs to, what's in there needs to call upon the source, so we would have to move that down to below source. Alt, down arrow. Why can't I move it? I can move that one. I can move that one down. I can't move it up. I can't move this one at all. Oh, I don't have any files in it to move. So we need to add a new item in this folder. We'll call it a source file. We'll put it in there. Now special has a source file in it, and we can move it. So we can move it down here below, say, source. Let's open up one of these. Let's go over here and right click on it and go open containing folder. Of course it came up on my other screen. That's fine. So here's my project folder, or actually my solution folder. Here's our user input project, and you'll notice we've got scripts and special. These are the two folders that I created. They have their files in there. So it doesn't matter what order they are here in the Solution Explorer. That doesn't, here in the File Explorer, that doesn't matter at all. What matters is the order that they're in the, somehow I ended up with special underneath source. Or source, rather, underneath special. I don't know how I did that. I did that again. So we'll move, source above special. So the order that they're in the Solution Explorer, even if they're in folders, it will compile this first, then it will compile this, then this, then this, then this, then this. And of course, it's not going to compile scripts. That's separate. Those are left out of the compilation process. In fact, you can see that if we go up here and right click on the project, we can come in here and edit this FS project file. And you'll see here that these are the compile include files, 1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as special file 1. And that's the exact order that they're in here. And none is this. We're not going to use that at all. It's not in a compile. So it's never going to compile that. So we're about 8 minutes into this video. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. Remember, the takeaway from this is the order is important. FS files are compiled. FSI files are kind of an interface file. We will get to those in a later lecture where we will use them to restrict how a particular module can be used. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these. These don't need to be in the, well, no, maybe I'll leave them there, and they'll be part of the Git solution that you can download then. So I'm going to close all these. I'm going to save them all. Close. Thought I said save. There we go. I'll close all those. I'm going to close this up. We're going to use this project to test code that we build in other modules. But in the next lecture, we're going to create a new folder here. Well, maybe not in the next lecture, but the next section, we'll be creating a new folder and a new project for that section. And we're going to call upon, we're going to use this to test code that we build before we build it into an actual compiled assembly. All right, that's it for this lecture. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. The next lecture coming up, we'll start getting into a little bit more functional programming, so I look forward to doing that with you. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.